I stared at the purchase-confirmed email, my hands trembling as I scrolled through the details one last time. 4 front-row tickets to see Midnight Echo, the band that had been the soundtrack to every major moment in our family's life. The total made my stomach clench. $2,400. But I'd been saving for months, picking up extra freelance work, skipping vacations. This was going to be worth it. My name is Ruby, and I've spent 27 years being the afterthought in my own family. But tonight was supposed to change everything. I grabbed my keys and headed to my parents' house for our weekly Sunday dinner, the confirmation email burning a hole in my phone. The familiar smell of Mom's lasagna hit me as I walked in, along with the sound of Terrell's booming laugh from the kitchen. "Ruby," Mom called out, "your brother just got a promotion." Of course he did. I forced a smile and walked into the kitchen where Terrell was holding court, Dad beaming beside him while Mom fussed with the garlic bread. "Little sis," Terrell grinned, "you missed the best part. They're sending me to London next month." "That's amazing," I said, my hand instinctively touching my phone. "Actually, I have some news too." "Oh, and get this," Terrell interrupted. "Remember Jake from college? He just hooked me up with these insane tickets." My heart stopped. "What tickets?" "Midnight Echo. Front row. Can you believe it? They're impossible to get, but Jake's cousin works security at the venue." The room started spinning. "When?" I managed to ask. "Next Friday. Dad, Mom, you're gonna flip. I got us 3 tickets." "3?" The word came out barely above a whisper. Terrell's smile didn't falter. "Yeah, well, 4 originally, but I figured you wouldn't really appreciate it like we would. You always zone out when we talk about music anyway. So I sold your ticket to Jake's sister. Made a nice profit, too." I pulled out my phone, hands shaking. "These tickets?" I showed him the confirmation email. The color drained from his face for just a second before that practiced charm kicked back in. "Oh shit, Rubes. How did you even... I mean, that's unfortunate timing. But hey, you can probably resell them for more than you paid. I bought these 3 months ago, as a surprise. For all of us." The kitchen went silent. Mom suddenly became very interested in the oven timer. Dad cleared his throat. "Now, Ruby," he started, using that same patronizing tone he'd used when I was 8 and upset about being left out of their camping trip. "Your brother didn't know. And he's right. You've never seemed that interested in—" "I learned to play guitar to Midnight Rain when I was 14, I cut in. "I had their poster above my bed until college. I went to their acoustic show alone last year because none of you would come with me." "Well," Mom finally spoke, her voice tight, "what's done is done. No use getting upset about it now." Terrell reached over and patted my shoulder. "Look on the bright side. You can make your money back. Jake's sister paid double." I looked at each of their faces. Mom's careful avoidance. Dad's dismissive concern. Terrell's smug certainty that this, like everything else, would blow over because that's what always happened. Something inside me shifted. A lifetime of swallowed hurt crystallized into something harder. Colder. I smiled. "You're right," I said, my voice steady. "What's done is done." "That's my girl," Dad said, relieved. "Now, who's ready for lasagna?" I stayed through dinner, nodding at all the right moments as Terrell dominated the conversation with stories about his promotion. I laughed when expected. I helped Mom clear the dishes, but inside, something had changed. I thought about the confirmation email, the purchase protection clause I'd read so carefully before buying, about the original credit card receipts saved in my drawer, about the fact that technically, legally, these tickets were still mine. As I drove home that night, my phone buzzed. A text from Terrell. "Thanks for being cool about everything. Posted our tickets on Insta. Gonna be epic." I clicked on his profile. There they were, my tickets, displayed proudly in his latest post. The unique barcodes clearly visible. "You're welcome," I typed back, my fingers steady now. Then I opened my laptop and began to write an email to the ticketing company's fraud department. The drive home felt surreal, like I was floating outside my body. My phone kept buzzing, more family members commenting on Terrell's Instagram post about the concert. I pulled over into an empty parking lot and called Zara. She picked up on the first ring. "Hey girl, They sold my ticket." My voice cracked. "The ones I bought. For all of us." "They did what?" I told her everything, my words tumbling out faster and faster. The surprise, Terrell's smug face, Mom's silence, Dad's dismissal. Those absolute pieces of... Zara took a deep breath. "Ruby, they deserve to rot. Tell me you're not just letting this go." I'm sitting in my car, looking at the ticketing company's fraud report form. "Do it." No hesitation in her voice. "Right now, while I'm on the phone." I pulled out my laptop, connected to my phone's hotspot, and started typing. The form was surprisingly straightforward. Original purchase details, proof of unauthorized resale, documentation of ownership. "They're going to hate me," I said, cursor hovering over the submit button. "They already do," Zara replied bluntly. "They just hide it better. What's the worst that could happen? They'll say I'm overreacting, being dramatic, too sensitive." The familiar scripts played in my head, like they did when Terrell forgot to tell you about Dad's surprise birthday party, or when your mom conveniently lost your graduation invitation. My fingers started moving across the keyboard. I have the original purchase confirmation, the credit card statement, screenshots of Terrell's post showing the ticket barcodes. Send it all, every receipt, every detail. Zara's voice was steel. Make it bulletproof. I attached the documents one by one. Each click felt like another brick in a wall I was building between my old self and whoever I was becoming. Done. I hit submit. Now what? Now we wait. And Ruby? Block their numbers. Just for tonight. Give yourself space to breathe. I ended the call and sat there, watching my phone light up with notifications. More likes on Terrell's post. Mom asking if I was coming to breakfast tomorrow. I blocked them all. At home, I opened my laptop again and logged into the ticketing platform's customer service chat. "Hello, how can I help you today?" The automated message blinked. "I need to verify the status of a fraud report I just submitted." A few minutes later, a human representative joined the chat. I explained the situation, provided my case number. "I see the report," they wrote. "The original purchase was made with your credit card, and the tickets are registered in your name. We take unauthorized resale very seriously. I'm escalating this to our security team." My phone buzzed with a text from Zara, a screenshot of Terrell's latest Instagram story, a video of him walking around his apartment, talking about concert preparations. "Got my outfit picked out for the front row, baby. Can't wait to see everyone's faces when they realize where we're sitting." I watched it 3 times, letting each word fuel something dark and determined inside me. The customer service chat pinged again. "Update. Our security team has flagged all 4 tickets. They will be invalidated at point of entry. Would you like to purchase replacement tickets?" My hands shook as I typed, "Yes. Just one, please." They offered me a single seat in the upper mezzanine. Not front row, but still with a clear view of the entrance gates. Perfect. Purchase confirmed. The original tickets are now void. Please note that any attempt to use them will be refused at security. I closed my laptop and walked to my bedroom closet. Behind my winter coats was a shoebox full of Midnight Echo memories, ticket stubs from shows I'd attended alone, guitar picks I'd collected, the set list I'd caught at last year's acoustic show. My phone lit up with a text from an unknown number, Jake's sister, the one who'd bought my ticket from Terrell. "Hey, your brother gave me your number. Just wanted to say thanks for the ticket. So excited." I didn't respond. Instead, I opened Instagram one last time. Terrell had posted another story, showing off the tickets spread across his coffee table. "T-minus 4 days. Front row crew, who's ready?" I took a screenshot, saving it as evidence. Then I typed out a simple comment. Hope you kept the receipt. I deleted it before posting. Not yet. The real show hadn't even started. My phone buzzed again. Zara sending another message. You okay? No, I replied honestly. But I will be. I turned off my phone, crawled into bed, and for the first time in years, I slept without dreaming about making my family proud. Concert day arrived with a flood of missed calls and texts. I'd kept my family blocked, but their messages piled up in my voicemail. Mom's passive-aggressive concern. Dad's awkward attempts at peacemaking. Nothing from Terrell. He was probably still too confident to worry. I got to work early, needing the distraction. My manager Charlotte stopped by my desk around 10. Ruby, you seem different today. I looked up from my computer. Different how? More focused. That campaign you pitched yesterday? The client loved it. Said it was exactly what they needed. She paused. Everything okay? Just learning to stand up for myself, I said, surprising myself with how steady my voice sounded. Well, whatever you're doing, keep it up. She smiled. It suits you. At lunch, I drove to the venue. The parking lot was already filling with early arrivals setting up for tailgating. I found the security office and asked for Truman Russell. A tall man with gray hair appeared, security badge gleaming. Can I help you? I'm Ruby. I filed the fraud report about the invalidated tickets. I wanted to confirm everything in person. He gestured me inside his office. Ah, yes, I remember the case. Quite clear-cut, actually. Family member resold tickets without authorization? My brother. I pulled out my phone, showing him Terrell's latest Instagram post, still bragging about the front row seats. Truman's face hardened. People think they can get away with anything these days. Don't worry. Those tickets are flagged in our system. They won't make it past the first checkpoint. What if they make a scene? We deal with that all the time. Local PD is always on site for big shows. He typed something into his computer. I've added a note to have extra staff at the gates when these specific tickets show up. I nodded, relief washing over me. Thank you. Mind if I ask something? Truman leaned back in his chair. Why go through all this trouble? Most people would just let it go. The question hit me harder than expected. Memories flashed. Age 12. Watching them leave for a weekend music festival. You wouldn't enjoy it, sweetie. 16. Finding out they'd seen my favorite band without telling me. You were studying for finals anyway. 25. Trying to share my own music only to have Terrell talk over me. Leave the real stuff to people who get it, sis. Because sometimes, I said carefully, letting it go means letting them win. Again. Truman nodded slowly. Well, your replacement ticket is good to go. Upper mezzanine, section 204. Clear view of the whole venue. Including the entrance? Especially the entrance. He smiled slightly. Enjoy the show, Ruby. Back at work, I kept checking the time. 3 hours until doors opened. 2 hours. 1. My phone buzzed. Zara. Sure you don't want me to come with? I need to do this alone, I texted back. Send videos. I packed up early, changed into the outfit I'd carefully chosen. Black jeans, boots, and my vintage Midnight Echo shirt from their first tour. The one Terrell had always mocked as trying too hard. The venue was chaos when I arrived. Thousands of people streaming toward the entrance, excitement building like electricity in the air. I took my time, watching the security lines grow. My phone exploded with notifications. They were here. I found my seat easily, perfect sightline to the main entrance. I pulled out my phone and opened the family group chat for the first time in days. Mom. Just parked. So excited. Dad. Looking for parking. Save our spots. Terrell. In line now. These tickets are gold. I zoomed in with my phone's camera. There they were. Terrell in front, tickets held high. Mom and Dad right behind him, Jake's sister bouncing excitedly nearby. They looked so confident, so entitled, so certain of their place in the front row. The security guard took their tickets, scanned them once, twice, frowned. I couldn't hear what was being said, but I could see Terrell's face change. The guard called over another staff member, then another. Mom stepped forward, gesturing frantically. Dad pulled out his phone, probably trying to show the purchase confirmation from Jake. Terrell's voice suddenly carried across the crowd. "This is ridiculous! I have the tickets right here!" More security arrived. Truman himself appeared, tablet in hand. I watched him calmly explain something while Terrell's face turned redder and redder. My phone buzzed one last time. Terrell. "Ruby, what did you do?" I turned off my phone, settled into my seat, and waited for the show to begin. From my perch in the mezzanine, I watched the scene unfold like a silent movie. Terrell's gestures grew more animated, his face redder with each passing minute. Mom clutched Dad's arm, her practiced social smile crumbling as more people turned to stare. "These tickets are fake?" Terrell's voice carried over the crowd again. "That's impossible. I bought them from—" "Sir," Truman's calm voice cut through, "you didn't buy them. These tickets were resold without authorization. They've been invalidated. Do you know who I am? My friend Jake is not authorized to sell these tickets. If you continue causing a disturbance, we'll have to involve law enforcement." A small crowd had gathered now, phones out, recording. Mom noticed and tried to pull Terrell back. "Honey, please, people are watching." "I don't care. We paid for front row. This is bullsh." "Sir," another security guard stepped forward. "You need to exit the line. Now." Jake's sister pushed through the crowd. "What's happening?" "Terrell, you promised these were legitimate." Dad finally spoke up, his authoritative business voice falling flat. "There must be some mistake. We can sort this out." "There's no mistake," Truman said, showing them his tablet. "These tickets were reported for fraudulent resale by the original purchaser. We have all the documentation." Mom's head snapped up. "Original purchaser?" I watched her face change as realization hit. She grabbed her phone, probably seeing my blocked number for the first time. Terrell wasn't giving up. "Look, I'll pay whatever difference. Sir, these are not your tickets to negotiate with. Please exit the venue immediately." 2 more security guards appeared. The message was clear: leave voluntarily or be escorted out. Dad's shoulders slumped. "Come on, son, it's over." "Over? Do you know how much I promised people? How many followers are waiting for my front row stream?" A police officer strolled over casually, hand resting on his belt. That finally shut Terrell up. They shuffled away from the entrance, Mom still frantically trying to call my blocked number. Jake's sister stormed off in the opposite direction, already on her phone, probably demanding a refund. I watched them stand in the parking lot, arguing. Terrell kicked a trash can. Mom wiped her eyes. Dad just stared at the ground. My phone buzzed with texts from unknown numbers, their friends probably, demanding explanations. I deleted them without reading. The opening notes of the first song began to play. Around me, the crowd roared to life. Below, my family made their final retreat to their car, shoulders hunched, heads down. No more swagger, no more certainty. I stood up and moved to the railing, letting the music wash over me. The same song they'd played at my first concert, age 15, when I'd begged to come along and they'd said no. "Hey," a voice beside me said. "A girl about my age, dancing already. You here alone?" "Yeah," I smiled. "Best seat in the house. Want to join our group? We've got space." I looked at her friendly face, then at her friends behind her, all nodding welcomingly. No judgment, no history, no power plays. I'd love to. We danced through the first set, jumping and singing every word. During a slower song, I checked my phone one last time. 15 missed calls from Mom, 10 from Dad, 37 text messages from Terrell, evolving from rage to bargaining to threats. One new Instagram notification. Terrell had deleted his bragging posts about the front row tickets. His latest story simply read, "Plans changed. Sometimes family disappoints you." I almost laughed at the irony. "Everything okay?" my new friend asked, noticing my expression. "Better than okay," I said, putting my phone away. Just watching karma do its thing. The band launched into their biggest hit. The girl grabbed my hand, pulling me back into their dancing circle. "This is my favorite." "Mine too," I said, and for the first time in years, I let myself enjoy the music without wondering if I was enjoying it the right way, if I was being too enthusiastic, too invested, too much. The lead singer stepped to the edge of the stage, right where my family should have been standing. "How's everyone feeling tonight?" The crowd erupted. I screamed with them, feeling something break free in my chest. "This next one," he said, "is for anyone who's ever been told they don't belong." The opening chords hit me like a wave. I closed my eyes and sang every word. No longer invisible, no longer silent, no longer sorry. The encore was ending when I finally checked my phone again. 100 notifications lit up my screen, but one caught my eye. A voicemail from Mom, left just minutes ago. I stepped into the hallway to listen. "Ruby." Her voice was tight, controlled. "I don't know what game you're playing, but you've embarrassed this entire family. Your brother had to refund 4 people. 4. Do you know how this makes us look? We raised you better than this. Call me back immediately." I deleted it and opened Instagram. My hands weren't even shaking as I posted a single photo. Me in the crowd, lights blazing, pure joy on my face. Caption: "Great seats. Worth every penny." The responses were instant. Terrell: "Take this down now." Mom: "We need to talk." Dad: "Please call us." Jake's sister commented, "So you're the reason we got kicked out?" Real classy. I blocked them all, one by one, just as the band started their final song. Midnight Rain, the one I'd learned on guitar all those years ago. My new concert friends pulled me back into their circle. This is it, the big finale. The lead singer stepped up to the mic. "This last one goes out to anyone who's ever had to fight for their place in the world." I sang every word, tears streaming down my face, not caring who saw. Around me, strangers became friends, all of us connected by the music, the moment, the raw emotion of it all. As the last note faded, my phone rang. Zara: "Girl, your brother is having a full meltdown on social media." I stepped outside, the cool night air hitting my flushed face. "What's he saying?" He posted this long rant about toxic family members and betrayal, but then someone commented asking what happened, and he got all vague and defensive. Now he's trying to spin it like there was some ticketing glitch. I laughed, actually laughed. "A glitch named karma." "Your mom's been calling me too, trying to get me to talk sense into you." "What did you tell her?" "That she raised you to stand up for yourself. She just never expected you to stand up to them." More notifications popped up. Mom had moved on to messaging my cousins, my old college roommates, anyone who might help her regain control of the narrative. "They're panicking," Zara said. "Their perfect family image is cracking." Good. I watched people stream out of the venue, still buzzing with concert energy. "Let it crack." "Ruby?" a familiar voice called out. Truman was walking over, radio in hand. "Everything work out okay?" "Better than okay," I smiled. "Thank you." He nodded. "Sometimes people need to learn they can't always get what they want." "Or take what isn't theirs," I added. My phone buzzed again. A text from Dad. "Your mother is in tears. I hope you're happy." For the first time I replied, "I am." Then I turned my phone off completely. "Want to grab late night coffee?" Zara asked. "You can tell me everything. Actually, I looked back at the venue, where my new concert friends were waving me over. I think I'm going to hang out here a bit longer. These people, they don't know me as anyone's little sister or disappointing daughter. They just know me as me. Look at you, living your best revenge life. Zara's smile was audible. Call me tomorrow? Promise. I joined the group heading to a nearby diner. They were still buzzing about the show, comparing favorite moments, sharing stories. That's security drama at the start, though, one of them said. Some family got busted for fake tickets or something? Yeah, I smiled, stirring my coffee. I heard about that. People can be so entitled, another added, thinking rules don't apply to them. If they only knew. My phone stayed off, but I could imagine the chaos unfolding in the family group chat. Mom trying to maintain control, Dad attempting to mediate, Terrell realizing his actions had consequences. But for the first time in my life, their drama wasn't my problem. Hey, Ruby, one of my new friends called out. We're planning to see another band next month. Want in? I looked around the table at these strangers who'd welcomed me without question, who sang with me, danced with me, shared this perfect night with me. Absolutely, I said. I'll buy my own ticket. They laughed, not getting the joke, and that made it even better. Outside, the venue's lights were dimming, but I felt brighter than ever. The next morning, I woke up to my doorbell ringing. Mom stood there, perfectly composed except for the slight tremor in her hands. We need to talk, she said, trying to step inside. I blocked the doorway. No, we don't. Ruby, please. Your brother had to refund everyone. Jake's sister is threatening to sue. Your father barely slept. Funny, I cut in. None of you lost sleep when Terrell sold my ticket. She flinched. That was different. You're being vindictive. No, Mom, I'm being fair. For once. Fair? Her voice rose. You humiliated us. In front of everyone. Do you know how many people saw us get turned away? Do you know how many times you've turned me away? That stopped her. For a moment, I saw something like recognition flicker across her face. Then the walls came back up. You've always been so sensitive, she said, making everything about you. I'm done. I started closing the door. Tell Terrell he can sue me if he wants. I have all the receipts. Literally. Back inside, I turned my phone on. The notifications had evolved. Now there were messages from extended family, old friends, even my high school music teacher. Terrell had posted a video. I pressed play. Hey followers, just wanted to address some rumors. His practiced influencer voice was strained. There was an unfortunate situation with some tickets last night. A miscommunication in the family. Sometimes people let emotions cloud their judgment. I commented, miscommunication? You sold tickets you didn't own. That's theft. The comment section exploded. I watched his carefully constructed narrative crumble in real time. My phone rang. Charlotte from work. Ruby, just checking you're okay. Your mother called the office. She what? Trying to get your personal contact info. Don't worry, I shut it down. But, are you all right? I thought about it. Actually, I'm better than all right. For the first time, I'm seeing everything clearly. Good. By the way, the client loved your presentation yesterday. They want you to lead the whole campaign. I smiled. Tell them I'm in. After hanging up, I drove to my parents' house. Not to apologize, to retrieve something. Dad answered the door. Ruby, thank God. We can fix this. I'm just here for my guitar. The one they'd stored in their basement when I moved apartments last year. The one I'd learned Midnight Rain on. His face fell. Can't we talk about this? Like you talked about selling my ticket? He followed me to the basement. Your brother made a mistake. We all did. But this revenge, it's not revenge, Dad. It's consequences. I found my guitar case buried under old Christmas decorations. As I pulled it out, a photo fell from the top shelf. Our family at a Midnight Echo concert years ago. All smiling, all together. The glass was cracked. Perfect. I took it upstairs where Mom had joined Dad in the living room. Remember this? I placed the broken photo on their coffee table. Last time we went to a concert together, before Terrell decided he was the family's music expert, before you both started taking his side on everything. We don't take sides, Mom protested weakly. You always take sides. By saying nothing. By letting him do whatever he wants. By telling me I'm too sensitive when I object. Ruby, Dad tried again. We love you. No, I said quietly. You love the idea of me. The quiet daughter who takes it all, who never makes waves, who lets Terrell shine. That person's gone. My phone buzzed. Terrell was calling. I declined it and headed for the door. What happens now? Mom's voice was small. Now? I'm going home. I'm going to tune my guitar. I'm going to lead my new work campaign. I'm going to live my life without worrying about fitting into your perfect family picture. But we're your family. I paused at the door. Family doesn't sell each other out. Family doesn't gaslight. Family doesn't show up at workplaces trying to force contact. We can change, Dad said. Maybe. But I'm not waiting around to find out. I left them standing in their perfect living room with their broken family photo. My guitar case felt light on my shoulder, like I was carrying possibilities instead of past hurts. Outside, the sun was bright. My phone showed a message from my new concert friends about meeting up again next week. Another from Charlotte about the campaign kickoff meeting. One from Zara with a simple heart emoji. I drove home, my old guitar in the back seat, feeling more like myself than I had in years. A week later, Aunt Sarah orchestrated a family meeting at her house. I only agreed to come because she'd always been the one relative who saw through Terrell's act. I arrived last, walking into a room thick with tension. Mom and Dad sat stiffly on the couch. Terrell paced by the window. Aunt Sarah stood in the middle like a referee. Ruby, she nodded. Thanks for coming. Let's get this over with, Terrell snapped. My followers are still asking questions. I had to turn off comments. Oh no, I gasped mockingly. How terrible for your brand. See? Mom jumped in. This attitude. This isn't you, Ruby. Actually, this is exactly me. You just never bothered to notice. Aunt Sarah raised her hands. Everyone, please. We're here to talk, not attack. Fine. Terrell stopped pacing. Let's talk about how Ruby deliberately sabotaged us. How she humiliated our entire family over one stupid ticket. My ticket, I corrected. The one I bought. The one you stole and sold. I didn't steal anything. I just redistributed. You sold something that wasn't yours, Aunt Sarah cut in. Let's be clear about that. Mom stood up. Sarah, you're not helping. I'm being honest. When was the last time anyone in this room was honest with Ruby? Silence fell. Dad shifted uncomfortably. You want honesty? I looked at each of them. Here's honest. Mom, you've never once stood up for me against Terrell. Dad, you pretend to be neutral while always taking their side. And Terrell? I turned to my brother. You've spent years making sure I know exactly how little I matter. That's not true, Mom protested. We've always supported you. When? When you forgot to tell me about family trips? When you dismissed every achievement that didn't fit your perfect family narrative? When you sat silently while Terrell sold my tickets? You're blowing everything out of proportion, Terrell started. No, I'm finally seeing things in proportion. And so is everyone else. I pulled out my phone. Want to see the messages I'm getting? From cousins, friends, even your precious followers? All saying the same thing, that they've watched you treat me like this for years. Those people don't know our family, Mom said desperately. Maybe they see it clearer than you do. Dad finally spoke. Ruby, what do you want from us? Nothing. That's the point. I don't want anything from you anymore. Terrell laughed bitterly. So this is it? You're throwing away your family over a concert? No. I'm walking away from people who never saw me as family in the first place. That's enough, Mom's voice cracked. I won't let you destroy this family with your, my what, Mom? My self-respect? She burst into tears. Dad moved to comfort her, but Aunt Sarah stepped between them. Ruby's right, she said quietly, and you all know it. Stay out of this, Terrell warned. No, I've stayed out too long. We all have. Watching you diminish her, exclude her, gaslight her. It stops now. Mom wiped her eyes angrily. You have no right. I have every right, Aunt Sarah shot back, because I've watched my niece shrink herself year after year to fit into your twisted dynamic. Not anymore. I touched her arm gently. It's okay. They don't need to understand. They just need to live with the consequences. Consequences? Terrell scoffed. Like what? Like knowing you can't control me anymore. Like realizing your perfect family image was always a lie. Like understanding that every time you exclude me now, I'll speak up. You'll regret this, he said. No, I smiled. I won't. I walked to the door, Aunt Sarah following. Behind us, Mom called out one last time. Ruby, please, we can fix this. I turned back. That's the thing, Mom. It was never broken. It was built exactly how you wanted it. I'm just not playing my assigned role anymore. Outside, the evening air felt clean, new. Aunt Sarah hugged me tight. You know they'll try again, she said. Let them. I'm done being the family ghost. My phone buzzed. A message from my new concert friends about an upcoming show. Another from Charlotte about my campaign's success. A third from Zara. Proud of you. Going somewhere? Aunt Sarah asked, seeing my smile. Yeah, I said. Forward. I drove away, leaving them in that house with their shattered illusions and broken narratives. In my rearview mirror, I watched Terrell storm out to his car. Mom cry on the porch, Dad stand helplessly between them. For the first time, their drama looked small, distant, like a movie I'd watched too many times before. I turned up the radio. Midnight Echo was playing. The small venue buzzed with pre-show energy as I checked tickets at the VIP entrance. Volunteering at local concerts had become my new normal, a way to stay connected to the music scene on my own terms. Hey, stranger, a familiar voice called out. Truman stood there, now working security for this venue too. Still keeping the peace? I smiled. Someone has to. He nodded at my volunteer badge. Looks like you found your place in all this. Before I could respond, my phone lit up with a notification. Terrell had finally unblocked me on social media, his first contact attempt in weeks. His latest post showed him at another concert, front row again, but the comments were telling. Didn't you learn your lesson about ticket scams? Is this another family miscommunication? Hope these ones are actually yours. I showed Truman, who chuckled. Karma's got a long memory. Speaking of memory, I said, guess who tried to buy tickets for tonight's show? Your family? Mom called the box office personally. Wanted to surprise me with a reconciliation. I shook my head. Some people never learn. What did you do? Told the manager the truth. They declined the sale. A group of familiar faces approached. My concert friends from that night, now regular parts of my life. We'd been to 3 shows together since then, each time making new memories untainted by family drama. Ruby, Lisa hugged me. Ready for your big moment? I touched the guitar case at my feet. The open mic segment was starting soon, and for the first time, I'd be performing. Midnight Rain. The song that started everything. Your aunt coming? Truman asked. Front row, I grinned. With Zara and my work team. Charlotte bought tickets for the whole office. My phone buzzed again. Dad this time. We miss you. The house feels empty without your guitar. I typed back. Should have thought about that before letting Terrell sell my ticket. Simple. Direct. No anger anymore. Just facts. 5 minutes, the stage manager called out. My friends helped me carry my guitar backstage. Through the curtain, I could see Aunt Sarah and Zara taking their seats, chatting with my colleagues. A real support system, built on respect instead of obligation. Hey, Lisa squeezed my arm. You've got this. I stepped onto the stage, adjusting the microphone. The lights felt warm, welcoming. This was nothing like playing in my parents' basement, always trying to stay quiet enough not to disturb Terrell's latest video shoot. This song, I said into the mic, is for anyone who's ever had to make their own space in the world. The opening chords filled the venue. My fingers moved with confidence, muscle memory from all those secret practice sessions paying off. As I sang, I saw Truman by the door, nodding along. My friends swayed near the front, genuine smiles on their faces. Charlotte filmed on her phone, probably for the company's social media. My campaign had gone viral, earning me a promotion. No one was talking over me. No one was telling me to tone it down. No one was making me feel small. The final chorus approached. Through the crowd, I spotted movement at the entrance. Mom, Dad, and Terrell, trying to talk their way in. Truman stepped forward, said something short and firm. They retreated, but not before seeing me on stage. Confident, capable, completely beyond their reach. I hit the last note perfectly. The crowd cheered. Real cheers, not the polite acknowledgement I used to get at family gatherings. Backstage, my phone showed one last message from Mom. We're sorry. We see you now. Too little, too late. I deleted it without responding. That was amazing. Zara rushed backstage, followed by my friends and colleagues. Who knew our quiet Ruby had such a voice? I did, I said. I always knew. I was just waiting for the right audience. We headed out for celebration drinks, my guitar case light on my shoulder. Through the window, I saw my family's car still in the parking lot, waiting for an invitation that wouldn't come. You okay? Aunt Sarah asked softly. Better than okay. I looked at the group around me. People who celebrated my voice instead of silencing it. I'm exactly where I should be. The venue's doors closed behind us with a satisfying click. Ahead, my friends waited, planning our next adventure. Behind, the past stayed where it belonged, out of reach, out of sight, out of power. I'd found my front row seat in life, and this time, no one could sell it out from under me.